Okay, so today we're going to do a lesson on creating like terms and writing an equation or an expression, okay? Remember what we talked about in math class? First thing I want you to do is you have your sheets of paper. If you have your sheet of paper, I want you to do a big plus sign. So you're going to make 4 sections on your paper, okay? Now, I want you to label this side, create terms. And then I want you to number it 1 through 5 in both boxes. So 1 through 5 in the top box, 1 through 5 in the second box, okay? The other side, I want you to write equations. And then I want you to number it the same. You're going to number it 1 through 5 and 1 through 5. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay, so what we're doing is we are breaking down our paper so that what's going to happen in the top boxes, you are going to work with your group to create 5 like terms and 5 equations, and we're going to do 1 together. And then in the bottom boxes, the opposite group is going to solve those like terms and those equations, okay? Any questions about that? Okay. So the first thing we need to talk about when we create like terms is, what is a term? Someone tell me what a term is. Okay.
It's like two alike. What's it? It's not that.
Well, let's see if Josh can explain it a little bit differently.
A term is like, for example, 5x.
5x could be a term. So what do we have when we have the number 5x? We have our coefficient. Do y'all remember that word?
Yep.
We have our coefficient, and then we have our what? Variable. That's right. So Josh has created a term, but for us to create a like term, what has to be the same? Lincoln.
The variable.
The variable has to be the same. Good job. Now, let me ask you a question before we do this. If the variable has to be the same, does anything have to be in front of the variable?
No.
Why?
I need someone from the Marshall team to call 2207, please.
You want someone else to help?
Marshall,
Always wait.
call 2207.
Okay.
Because there's always something in front of it, like even if you don't see it.
What is always in front of your variable?
A 1.
A 1, because you have 1x, right? So, the first portion that you're going to do is we're going to create a term. So Josh already told us 5x is our term. So everyone can write 5x on their paper, right? What's going to happen is when you switch your papers with the opposite group, that group's then going to come down here and they're going to write a like term. So all they have to do is write something that goes along with 5x, right? Everyone understand that? Okay. Now let's look at the equations. When you're doing an equation, say I give you something along the lines of
5x and 2x.
5
X.
5
Plus
X.
3.
plus a number.
Oh, wait.
Do you all remember that?
Well, I do.
So if I give you this and I write 5 plus a number, oh, I didn't even finish number, look at that. If I write 5 plus a number, what are you going to tell me, Josh? What does that equation say?
The answer is 5x.
Or 5.
Now,
Plus X.
let me remind you, when we're talking about variables and I ask you to put a number somewhere, here's what I found is when I give you an equation sentence and I say 5 plus a number, wherever this number falls in my sentence, if it's at the end, it's going to be at the beginning of my equation, okay? But if it's at the beginning of my sentence, it's going to be at the end of the equation. Does that make sense? So if I see the sentence and it says a number
So it would be n plus 5.
plus 5, this sentence is going to look like this equation, a number plus 5. But this sentence is going to look like an equation, and 5 plus a number, because you're given a number, which is your variable, right? We figure out where our variable's at, and then we can put all the integers where they need to be, okay? So I'm given a number, and I put it down here, plus 5. So a number plus 5, or 5 plus a number, because I've given the number and I've added 5 to it, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take, in your groups, you should have the same answers for these 4 questions, okay? So as a group, you're going to talk, and you're going to say D says, okay, I've got number 2. It's going to be 2YZ. Ben says, okay, I got number 3. It's going to be ABCD. You're going to work together in your groups to come up with 4 terms, and we'll use this equation. You ready? 5 plus a number.
Oh, okay, I see how this can work, okay.
And you don't have to make them too difficult. So I've already given you the first one, and then we'll solve the first one together, which we've already done. I want you to work in your groups to create 4 more like terms and create 4 more equations. Go ahead and do that.
Oh, wait, let's wait.
So make sure we're talking together.
Okay, alright. I say number 2 should be 2x.
Alright, number 2 is,
And then we can
can we
do
write 0?
2.
You mean like
2
0x?
plus a number.
No.
2 plus a number. Yeah, let's do that.
Well, you have to have a variable. You have to have a coefficient and a variable. So if you write a variable, it can just be the variable because what's in front of it.
Can we just like write?
To create a like term, you have to have a coefficient and a variable.
For equation, can we just write x or a number?
Okay, okay.
Like a number plus.
Yes. For one of them.
10 plus a number.
10 times the number.
But we,
Not
okay.
a number.
Because it could be any.
Just a number. You said we could just write a number, right?
Yes.
Number 2, I guess we could do. Let's do something random, like 24.
And you don't have to match
For
these.
correct terms.
You don't have to.
You don't have to match your terms and your equations. Those are 2 separate things.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
You can, that's fine, but you don't have
You might
to.
as well do it anyway.
We can just write anything
You've
down.
already done.
I'm gonna give you all about 2 more minutes to finish those out.
No,
Is that plenty of time?
really challenging.
2 more minutes to finish those out.
What's the number they would
I
have?
know that's not a lot of time, but we have to have
For number 3.
some discussion about it.
7 what? X. X, Y? Yeah, X, Y. 17.
in my phone.
17.
Number 4, 24. X.
Okay, make sure that you have a variable to go with number 3.
Yeah, it's.
It's O.
Oh, it's the letter O. Okay, sorry.
And then for the last one, let's just do a simple one. Let's do 10x and let's do 10.
Like 24 W.
Alright, sure, 24W.
I want to do
Okay. For equation, we could do.
plus 10. Now what, we just wait until they're done?
Yeah, they're almost done.
But they're switched around.
Number plus 10.
What was the last one?
A number plus 10.
So you're like 10.
Now, number 3, when you list variables, you usually want to put your variables in alphabetical order. It doesn't hurt anything not to, but you just don't want to get them mixed up as you go along, okay?
Like a number multiplied.
So what number?
For number 3.
The last one.
Okay. Is this group still working?
We just got the last one.
That's fine. CJ, come up here and write one of your equations here and one of your terms up here.
We can do
And then you all got one more,
10
right?
plus a number.
Yeah.
10 plus a number.
Okay, Josh, come up here and write one of your equations and one of your like terms up here.
I do number 2.
2,000.
Okay, are you all good?
Wait,
Okay.
like a like term for one of our own.
Off of your paper, yeah. Write one of them that's off your paper. Pick one.
What? Oh, are these just supposed to match up?
No, they don't have to match up.
Oh,
Lincoln, come up here and write one of yours.
which one?
I don't care. Just choose one. I want you to write a term and I want you to write an equation. I don't care which one you choose though.
I.
Okay, so do you have questions about what you've done so far?
No.
Questions?
Black.
You're gonna pass your paper to the other group and we're gonna solve them. Okay, and just to clarify on number 4 that Lincoln wrote, that is the letter O, not the number 0. Right, you all? Okay. Well, need to tell them so that when they go to solve it, it's not causing confusion. Okay, Dee, will you come up and write one? And then we'll trade our papers off.
I think that's right.
Okay, Ben, do you have any questions about what
I
you
don't
did?
remember.
Make sense? Okay. Okay, so now what I want you to do is trade your paper with someone at the other table. And you all just need to solve in the bottom boxes. So basically, creating like terms, number 1 coincides with number 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, and so on and so forth. Do you all understand that?
Did you do an example for us? I'm confused. Wait, how would we do this?
So let's look at number 1 because we did it up here on the board together,
So,
okay?
Would I just do 5x
So-
plus 1x?
If we're going to create a like term for 5x, what's a like term? Somebody give me
2x.
something.
2x?
2x.
So I'll just write 2. Oh, okay.
So I've created a like term for 5x, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at equations. 5 plus a number. How am I going to write that equation? Lincoln.
X plus 5.
X plus 5. How did you know that the x went at the start of it?
Because you told me.
Because I told you. Okay. Okay, go ahead and solve those real quick. And then I'm going to have you all come write your answers up on the board.
So quiet now, it went off.
Mm-hmm. Josh, do you understand what you're doing?
Mhm.
Okay.
This is easy.
Now let me remind you all, this is review, right? Because we've already done this previously.
Yeah.
So is it supposed to be hard?
No,
Is it supposed to be new content that you're learning?
No.
No, this is stuff that you've already done. We're kind of just reviewing it to see where you all are at and just to kind of keep it in your brains a little bit.
Who spelled 10 ton?
Let's not be critical of spelling and handwriting. Let's just answer it.
I hope they don't.
Okay, Ben, if you're done, will you come up here and choose one to solve for, please?
Oh, I get to choose one of these.
Yep.
I just get to solve for whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So do a term and do an equation. I'm sorry, I should have clarified. Pick one of each.
Do we give it back?
Hmm?
Do we give it back?
Yeah, we'll trade them back in a minute. Okay, CJ, go ahead. Josh, he's trying to work, so let him work, please.
Wait, do I have to do the same thing?
Yeah, pick one of them
Oh.
to solve for.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be copying out.
Ooh. I want to
Because
do
you all
number
took these
4.
off your paper.
I want to do number
10Y.
Okay, D, are you done? Okay, come up here
Is that
and solve for one.
That's a Z.
It's a Z. 10YZ.
Didn't you all put that down?
Yeah, y'all put that.
And
Okay, now do an equation. Coleman, I want you to come up here and solve for one of them. No, because I've got D doing one and I've got
Oh.
Coleman, so that takes them off. But we're going to talk about them in just a minute, Josh. That way everyone got a chance to go to the board at least once. You got to go to the board at least once, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
Well, the second time.
Well, I can't let everyone have every turn, so I'll try to make sure everyone got one turn. Okay, so if he solved for that, are you gonna solve for this one? So create a like term for that
That's
one.
my best. That's a long name.
Yeah, did you do number 4 on that side?
No, I was doing number 5.
Okay. We can move it in the number 4 spot, just erase the number and change it around. Okay, and then I want you to do number 4 over there. Which one are you doing, D? Okay. So he's doing number 5, so you're gonna do number 4 over there. So number, there you go.
Let's just start from
Got it? Okay, so let's look at what you all created. For 5X, you all gave me what?
2X.
Did you create a like term? Yes. Number 2, 2X, what did you give me?
3X.
Did you create a like term?
Yes.
Did you create a like term for number 3? Yes.
Yes.
Did you create a like term for number 4?
Yes.
No.
It's
Oh, what has to be the same?
a variable. It's a Z. It's a O, and that's a Z.
Oh,
it could be
yeah.
like a
This is the letter O,
I'll
right?
fix it.
So your variable is always a letter. So if your variable is always a letter and it's the letter O, this has to be something with an
I'll
O.
fix it.
Does that make sense? Okay.
1. Oh.
Well, no, that's the same, right? So give me something other than 1
2O.
and make it like really big O.
That's a small O. Why you put
Oh.
You can't put more than one O.
Yes, you can. That's
Okay.
not an O.
Now, let me clarify something for you all,
That's a 0.
boys.
You gotta, it has to be like this. I wanna put a fact. Stop.
That was a 0.
That's what's supposed to be.
Okay, let me clarify something for you. When you're talking about variables, and so we're dealing with letters and we're dealing with numbers in math. When you have a number in math that is a 0 and you're doing letters, you always put a line through the number 0.
0.
Because that indicates that that's the number 0 and not the letter, okay? So if it's the letter, you're gonna leave it alone. Okay, let's look at the equation side. 5 plus the number, we have x plus 5. 2 plus the number, we have x plus 2. A number plus 5, you all did it the right way because you put the 5 on, you put the x on the end, which is our variable, because it said a number first. You did number 4, a number, you gave me x, and 5, a number plus 10, you did 10 plus x. Do you have any questions about what we did?
No.
Any confusion about what we did? Okay, you can give your papers back. You can stop recording.
Gyrus, you want
That's all, boy.